So if you stand in front of an Isuzu D-Max and an MUX, it might be very difficult for you to figure out which one is the SUV and which one is a bakkie, right? So you might be liking the looks, like in terms of the front end of the vehicle, and you are undecided whether to go for a bakkie or an SUV. So in today's video, guys, I'm going to cover some of the items that you might need to consider before zeroing in on to that particular vehicle type that you want. And guys, if you are new to the channel, please remember to subscribe, like, and share this content. Well, without wasting much of your time, let's jump into it. So the first thing that you need to consider, it will be the purpose. What is it that you want to use that vehicle for? So an SUV, it's a versatile vehicle, guys. It is suitable for your daily commuting, your family outings, and off-road, like light off-roading as well. An SUV, it will be good for that. While on the other side, a double cab, it is designed for heavy duty work and off-road adventures. So you have to consider highly the purpose that you're going to be using that vehicle for. And then moving on, the next thing, it will be the space within the vehicle. So SUVs generally have got more passenger and cargo space than double cab trucks, making them a better choice for families or those who frequently transport large and bulk items. So generally in an SUV, if you to travel and all that, you will have more passenger and cargo space, which is not the same with your double cabs, because remember, they are primarily made for heavy duty work. And then when it comes to your top towing capacity, right, a double cab, or rather a bakkie, it will typically have a higher towing capacity because, as mentioned earlier on, they are designed for heavy duty work. So this makes them a better choice for those who need to tow boats and other large items. And then the fourth thing that you might need to consider is off-road capabilities. So if you're going off-roading, climbing mountains and all that, double cabs are built for off-road adventures and have a better clearance. So in terms of you going over like stones, or if the road is not that even, so a double cab, it will be more ideal. And they've got a more rugged suspension as well, which is stronger compared to that of an SUV. So that's another thing. When we're talking of off-road capabilities, bakkie would be suitable. And then in terms of your fuel efficiency, so as you know, guys, fuel nowadays is very expensive. So that's another thing that you have to take into consideration. So SUVs generally have a better fuel efficiency than double cab trucks, which can save you money in the long run. So remember, double cab trucks, they are primarily for work, so they will tend to use more fuel because they have to move like a lot of heavy stuff and all that. So SUVs generally will have will have better fuel efficiency compared to a bakkie. And then when it comes to price wise, double cabs tend to be more expensive than SUVs, both in terms of purchase and ongoing maintenance. So whether you're buying it cash, or when you're buying it cash, double cabs tend to be more expensive, obviously, because I think car manufacturers, they know that it's a car that is going to be used for work. So it is a car that is generally going to be used to generate more revenue. So maybe that could be another thing why they are expensive. And also in terms of ongoing maintenance costs, if you are using a vehicle to tow boats and all that, in terms of maintenance, obviously it will have higher maintenance costs compared to a vehicle that you just use to move around. And then insurance cost. So obviously double cabs will have a higher insurance cost than SUVs due to their higher replacement cost and high risk of of theft. So remember, a double cab, it's a vehicle that you're using for work and stuff. It is bound to have more breakdowns, and those cost for you to replace items that would have broken down, they become very high. And also, if you are staying in South Africa, you know the top 4 most stolen vehicles in South Africa currently, it's the Ford Ranger, which is a bakkie or a double cab, and then there's a Toyota Hilux, the GD6 Range, which are normally your double cabs, and then there's a Toyota Fortuner, which is an SUV, and then there's a Polo, which is your hatchback. So already on the top 4 most stolen vehicles, 2 of them are bakkies, so the risk of it being stolen is very high. So that's another thing that you need to consider. And then also moving on, the 8th item is the resale value. So double cabs will tend to hold their values better than SUVs, which can be beneficial if you're planning to sell your vehicle in the future. So I've seen bakkies that have done more than 200,000 kilometers, and they are still selling for good prices on the market. Yet on the other hand, if you see an SUV that has done more than 200,000 kilometers, the prices that they are selling for on the market, it's significantly lower compared to the bakkies. So that's another thing that you need to consider, the resale value. And then occupant safety. So this is safety for people who are within the vehicle. So SUVs tend to have more advanced safety features than double cabs trucks, mainly obviously because with SUVs it will typically be occupied by 3 or 4 or even the whole family in most cases, while a double cab, in most cases it might be only the driver and maybe a few items at the back. So in terms of safety, an SUV will tend to have more safety features than the double cab. And then the last item that we would also need to consider is the rural versus urban. Where do you stay yourself? Are you staying in an urban setup? Are you staying in a rural or farm kind of setup, right? So on this one, double cab trucks are better suited for rural areas because obviously of the ground clearance that we spoke about, where they can be put to work and where off-roading capabilities are more required. And then on the other hand, SUVs are more at home in the urban areas where their smaller size and better fuel efficiency make them more practical choice. So there we go, guys. Those are the 10 things that you would want to consider before you buy. So just a recap of the 10 things that you need to consider. First thing, it was the purpose, the space, towing capacity, off-road capabilities, fuel efficiency, the price of the vehicle, insurance cost, resale value, occupant safety, and the last thing was urban and rural. So guys, once again, if you like this video, please click on the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with friends. I'll see you in the next one.